Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we jump into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. Let's get started. The morning sun cast long shadows over the pristine corridors of the hospital, the air thick with antiseptic and anticipation. Dr. Lee Finnegan stood outside a private room, her hand gripping the patient chart with more force than necessary. She wasn't sure why she was here. Logic had no place in this moment. For all the brilliant, methodical things she'd done in her life, this wasn't one of them. Inside that room was a woman who had haunted her nightmares, tainted her professional life, and nearly destroyed her family, Sheila Carter. But the universe, in its ironic brilliance, had tossed them together yet again, and this time there was no avoiding the conversation that needed to happen. Lee knocked once, sharp and firm. The door creaked open. Sheila turned, startled. Her expression changed instantly from confusion to suspicion, then to something unexpected. Curiosity. "Lee," she said slowly, as though tasting the word. "Didn't expect you. I shouldn't be here," Lee replied coldly, stepping inside anyway. "But you've involved yourself in something you don't understand. Something that could blow up all of our lives. So here I am." Sheila's eyebrow arched. "Is it about Luna?" Lee nodded, her lips pressed into a thin line. "You know damn well it is." For a brief moment, silence hovered in the room like a living thing. Sheila sat down on the edge of the hospital bed and folded her hands. "You're talking about the little detail that her aunt is actually her grandmother," Sheila said with a smirk, "and that nobody, including Luna, knows the truth." Lee's eyes narrowed. "It's not a little detail, it's a ticking time bomb. And I have no idea what game you're playing. But if you breathe a word of this, you'll set fire to a family that's barely holding it together." Sheila chuckled, but it was without humor. "Oh, Lee, you think I'd ruin Luna's life for fun? Don't you know me at all?" Lee shot her a withering look. "I do know you. That's what terrifies me." But underneath the hostility, something was changing. Both women sensed it. They had clashed too many times to count, but there was a strange familiarity here, a recognition of each other's ferocity. Both were mothers. Both had made unforgivable mistakes, and both were now guarding secrets that could destroy the very people they were trying to protect. "Let me ask you something," Sheila said, tilting her head. "Why hasn't Poppy told Luna the truth herself?" Lee didn't answer right away. The weight of the question settled between them. "She's afraid," Lee finally said, "afraid Luna will hate her, that she'll feel betrayed, that she'll never trust her again." Sheila gave a slow nod. "Smart kid, that Luna. She knows something's off, even if she can't put her finger on it." Lee crossed her arms. "So, why haven't you told her? You love to play puppet master, Sheila. I find it hard to believe you're sitting on this bombshell just to protect someone else." Sheila looked away. For once, there was no snark, just exhaustion. "Because for once in my life, I don't want to be the villain. I see what that girl has, the light in her, the future, and I won't be the one to take that away from her." That gave Lee pause. Sheila Carter, choosing silence over sabotage. That was new. Lee sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose. "So we're at an impasse. We both know the truth. And if it comes out the wrong way, it will wreck Luna's world. She has a right to know," Sheila said gently. "But maybe not today. Maybe not like this." Lee sat down across from her, the chart forgotten. "Then what do we do? Wait until she finds out on her own? Until she overhears it, or someone slips up? That could be even worse." They sat in silence, the clock ticking in the background. Then, in a moment neither of them could have predicted, Lee leaned forward and said the unthinkable. "What if we worked together to prepare her, to protect her?" Sheila blinked. "Are you saying you want to form a God help us?" Lee's mouth twisted in distaste. "I'm saying I hate this as much as you do. But if we don't handle this right, we'll be the ones who burn when the fallout comes." A slow, almost amused smile spread across Sheila's face. "Will Dr. Finnegan color me shocked? I never thought I'd hear you ask me for help." "I'm not asking for help," Lee snapped. "I'm asking for damage control. There's a difference." Sheila stood and extended a hand. "Semantics. But fine. Damage control it is." Lee eyed the hand as if it might bite her, but after a beat, she shook it. Their reluctant alliance had begun. What neither woman knew, however, was that the secret was already beginning to unravel. At that very moment, Luna stood in the garden behind the Forrester estate, a strange expression on her face. She held an old photo in her hands, one she'd found in a box in Poppy's closet. It was worn and faded, but the image was unmistakable. A much younger Poppy, standing with a baby in her arms. The date on the back didn't line up, not with what she'd been told, and that gnawing feeling in her stomach, it was growing. She turned as RJ approached. "Hey," he said, kissing her temple. "You okay?" She hesitated. "I found something. And I think my mom, or my aunt, isn't telling me everything." He frowned. "Like what?" She showed him the photo. "This baby, this is me. But look at the date. It was taken when Poppy would have been 16 or 17. She told me she wasn't around back then." RJ looked at the photo, then back at her. "Do you think she lied to you?" "I don't know," Luna whispered, "but something doesn't add up. And I can't shake the feeling that there's more." Across town, Lee and Sheila were still locked in a tense conversation, hammering out the rules of their uneasy pact. "No lies," Lee said firmly. "No sabotaging each other," Sheila added. "Even when you're tempted. We'll guide Poppy to tell the truth herself," Lee continued. "But if she won't, we'll have to decide whether we do it ourselves." "I can't believe we're doing this," Sheila muttered. "If anyone had told me a year ago I'd be conspiring with Lee Finnegan," Lee snorted. "Believe me, the feeling is mutual." Their fragile alliance hung by a thread, but for now, it was holding. But then Sheila's phone buzzed. She glanced down, and her expression shifted. "What?" Lee asked. Sheila's voice was grim. "It's from Deacon. He just saw Luna leaving with that old photo, and he said she looked shaken." Lee stood up fast. "It's happening, isn't it?" Sheila nodded. "The fit's about to hit the and in that moment, the enemies realized they were already too late. The truth was no longer a secret. It was a wildfire, and Luna was about to walk straight into the flames.